Hello YouTube, let's watch the sunrise together. Gotta change your camera angle here. Here we go. Isn't that just gorgeous? I think that it is beautiful. It's breathtaking, really, let's be honest. So you may be wondering, where are we exactly today? Because this kind of looks new. It certainly doesn't look like it sprung up overnight. Well, the answer is that it didn't spring up overnight. It's something that I've worked on for a long time. This is the cathedral in the center of my capital city. And you guys are watching episode number 4 of MasterVini's Minecraft Empire. Aren't you guys glad to be here? And aren't you guys glad that we get to see the sunrise together? It's such a nice thing, the sunrise. Alright, down to business. We got a lot to do today. And before we can do anything, we have to be able to see our pick. We have a very special pick with us today in the capital. Not so densely populated as it is. We have this. And if anybody can tell me what reference this pick is named after, what pop culture reference that is, and leave it in the comments below, then, well, we'll just have to talk about that later, because one of us may have a problem. Either me for asking you to name it, or you for knowing what it is. You may be a geek. Well, that's okay, because that means I love you. And, yeah. We have acceptance for your kind here. Don't worry. So, fun fact. I was talking to a good friend of mine the other day. We got in a discussion. And we were on about, like, what's the difference between a nerd and a geek, man? And I don't know who would come up with it. I'd love to track it down. If anybody knows, or if anybody, you know, has an acceptable definition. Not that you really need to, like, you know, I guess, decide. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. But I'm curious. For some reason, I've always thought of myself as more of a geek. But what we came up with when we got to talking the other day was we agreed that geeks are people who appreciate culture more than anything else. And we get into kind of like the cult classics, sort of, you know, like the movies and, I don't know. Like the big, you know, a geek somebody you'd see like wigging out over Star Wars. Just be like, oh my gosh. Or Star Trek, or any one of a dozen other films. I myself am both a huge Trekkie and Star Wars fan, and I dated a Trekkie who was a much bigger Trekkie than me for well over a year, so I'm well versed in that. And I went to well, I still do. I still go to school with several math majors, and so I get kind of both ends. I get the cultural end of it, and I get the geeky end, and I get the nerdy end. But I'm curious, does anybody out there know the difference between the one or the other? Or is there a difference of the one or the other? Or maybe they really are just kind of entirely interchangeable, and it doesn't matter. So go ahead and let me know. And yeah, no, I'd appreciate it. And again, if you know what this pick is named after, then please go ahead and just leave your username, YouTube username, or just leave a little comment. Just be like, you know, so-and-so knows. You know, we know what the iron price is. And I will be very curious in time to come to see if anybody catches this and does that. So, we're almost at the bottom of the coal stack here. And when we're at the bottom of the coal stack, I'm going to cut to what I salvaged from my episode today. just want to give you guys a little bit of a warning. I saved most of it, but I worked on a project back on the island, and the first half of it got lost in editing. I'm kind of new to the editing, and yeah, I'd really rather not talk about it. I know what the problem is, and it was with virtual dub and certain clips being incompatible with one another, but we'll work on that in the future, so I won't have any more problems with that. And you guys will just have to pretend that you were there and you saw the awesome part where I got a piece of wool and I had a music montage. Pretend. You gotta pretend now, because this didn't actually happen. I tried real hard. I had a music montage, and I got some sheep over here from the mainland, and I brought them to my island because I realized today that I need sheep for a project, as you'll find out shortly, and there were none to be had. So without further ado, there's our coal. We had the, was it Fortune 3 on that, so pretty cool. I use this for diamonds too and other fun things, but without further ado, guys, here's the rest of the episode. Thanks for watching the sunrise with me. Take care. Okay, so here we are in the basement. We are picking up a few supplies, namely TNT, because we have some room to clear so that we can make a new home for the sheep, our new guests here on the island. And we are down into the under basement? I don't know. Gonna keep on changing names, see if we can find one. Yeah, so this is the basement and storage room of my house. And this is the under basement of my house with more things, and below this is the under basement with more things. And if you really want to get technical, below this is, well, yeah, like apparently just where the creepers hang out. Thanks, guys. Showing up. Goodness gracious. Please, I just need the slimes to go away. Like, I think that I would spend more time down here if it wasn't for the fact that I, very unfortunately, made this cavern in a slime chunk. But it really couldn't be helped. That's my skeleton spawner, and that's my bread maker, and I kind of need them to be down here. I can't relocate them because I can't move the skeleton spawner. So I'm down here, and the slime's got to go. So half steps. Sorry, slime tangent, city tangent. Tangents are done, and the sheep moving is done. Yay! Step 1: get sheep. Hi, sheep. How are you? Do you want to make more sheepsies for me? More sheeps means more wool. More wool means you are doing your job, and I am happy. And are the cows ready yet? So I got a project, or rather, I don't know if it's a project, but an idea for a building that I want to make, or I don't know. It's a project, and it's going to involve lots of colored and dyed wool and colored and dyed leather. So down here, probably over here, I'm thinking, I want to set up a system for breeding a lot of sheep and a lot of cows and getting a lot of wool and a lot of leather and then dyeing it all the different colors and then keeping all of those colors organized so that I can then use them in my big project that I got coming up soon. So yeah, this is what we're working on now. I got my pick, I got my flint, and I got my TNT, and let's make this disappear. Alrighty guys, so thank goodness for diamond picks and enchanted diamond picks. On top of that, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Probably had a little bit on us before, just because I tend to either pick it up one way or another. So let's say at least like 8 stacks of smooth stone out of there, and that smooth stone I didn't have to use coal on to smelt, and it's just kind of easier that way. So I'm in no need of ice, and I really think ice is probably the only other material that I would be using Silk Touch on at the moment. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and use some of the antiquated storage over here. This is for the extras. Cool. And while I got you here, back for a minute, let's go ahead and do just a wee bit of planning for this, how I want this to be set up. This area right here in front of us, I want to have maybe like a storage array on the back, and I want it to be like all, what is it, like some 16 odd colors of wool, rainbow, done up in the rainbow, so like red down here, and then go all the way through, and then like the purples, or the back end, the violets, whatever they're called. And then I want to do like the brown colors, and then like the black colors, like, you know, white, grays, blacks down here. So just kind of like the bank of chests, and in the middle maybe kind of like a dyeing station where like it all goes on. So like in the back's the storage, here's kind of like where the work goes. And the farms I want to tuck in here, so like back there I want to put the cow farm, and if I can hop over this divot here, this way I want to put the sheep farm. One concern with that is how thick this wall is, so I'm going to do a little bit of snooping around. I got from roughly here, because this is the walkway that we brought the sheep up, so roughly from here till about here in the wall to clear out some space, and I'm sure that'll be fine. I don't know how elaborate I'm doing the farms yet. I don't even know that I really have a design for those, so much as I know I want my sheep here, and I want my cows over there, and I want the dyeing and stuff to be here in the middle. So, yeah. Get to it! To the TNT! To the sheep side, and more TNT! Uh-oh. Yep. Well, found the walkway. Well, we're gonna stop by at least there. Back up. I just noticed, this is like what? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's like 6 blocks of height. We can go down into the ceiling because I imagine we're going to want to probably bury some redstone contraptions in the, you know, in the floor of the ceiling. But we want to go up and take out like probably at least those 3 blocks there. Alright everybody, thanks for watching thus far. This is our final update for this episode. Even if we are not up to our time yet, I'm going to cut this one just a tad bit short because I need to do some more planning. Ba-da-da-dun. So yeah, I double checked and wool definitely comes in 16 different colors. Just wanted to make sure about that before I, you know, started making other plans. So going down this side, I have roughly spaced out 8 different doors. I'm thinking like maybe 8 down here, and then 8 down here, and then in each little compartment maybe I can have a little breeding set up for each different color sheep. So like all the red sheep would be tucked in this little pod, and you know all the orange sheep and all the yellow sheep and so on and so forth down the rainbow. Yeah, I don't think we need too many sheep of any one particular color. I'm kind of interested in maybe doing something where after I shear them, I can have water streams collect their wool. Another thing we're going to need to do is figure out how to put grass down in here because sheep need to eat grass so that they regrow their wool, which is kind of thing. As you can see, I got my sheep over here munching away on my grass. Eat my lawn, bastards. You're eating the royal lawn! Knock it off, jerks. So yeah, and then I need to look into what level of automation I want to go for my cow farm. I primarily want leather, so you know I use it in item frames all the time. I'm going to be using it to make a lot of leather armor for this project because I'm going to need a lot of different color armor for this project, and yeah. So, and I'm not quite sure how automated I want to build that. Again, the focus on this episode, guys, is going to be more creative builds, and I don't want to spend too much time on these farms. An episode here and there is cool because it kind of balances things out, and I promise by putting in these 2 farms, it is going to directly lead into a really cool project that might have applications if any of you are interested in doing some well, I don't want to quite give it away, but if any of you are fans of the theater, let's put it that way, or have fond memories of your high school drama club, or have ever participated in theater of any kind, then I think that you will enjoy this next project because I know I will. So once again, this is Master Vinny. And thank you guys for having me very much. I will see you guys in the future.